Hey, Fred Kelly here, your nerd sidekick. This is a disk drive. This holds all the files and programs on your computer. And in this video, you will learn how to quickly and easily add a disk drive or a solid state drive like this one here to your computer without having to open your computer or mess with potentially scary and complicated data and power cables. You'll also be able to access data and files on older drives that you may have lying around. And if you have an older computer that died, the data in that computer is almost certainly still accessible if you need it. Getting to that data would require you to open your dead computer, but you won't have to fix anything in that dead computer. With the method I'm going to show you today, that data will be available to you again very easily. The magic happens using this item, the Sabrent USB 3 SATA hard drive flat docking station. Long name, but very simple to use. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I purchased this item for my own use for less than $25. So this is a very inexpensive way to get lots of value when using your computer. This device works with both PC and Mac computers, but I will be demonstrating this only with a PC. The functionality of the product should be nearly identical on a Mac. So let me take this out of the box and show you how to use it. I'm set up here with my computer, and here is the new Sabrent flat docking station. It's plugged into power, and so what I want to show you is how easy it is to add a disk drive to any computer without opening the computer. Now, there are lots of ways to do this. This is one of many, and so I'm going to show you how to do it. And the point of what I'm using this for, just to give you some context, I do a lot of work for my church, video work, and so each week we have maybe 250 gigabytes of data that we have to archive from week to week. And so I have a new 10 terabyte drive here that I'm going to plug into this. I'm going to format it, and then I will be able to offload files from this computer onto this drive, and I'll do that through this docking station. Let's jump into this. So the first thing you have to do, obviously I plugged this in, and so we have the included USB 3 cable here, and so you really do want to have a USB 3 port on whichever computer you are connecting this to, because if it's a USB 2, it's going to be very slow transferring data, so you really want to have a USB 3 port on your computer. So this is going to plug in back here. And then on the side of my computer here is a USB 3 port. One way you can tell if it's USB 3, they're normally inside here, they are blue. Now, this doesn't always mean that's going to be USB 3, but most of the time it will, and it's blue here on this USB port as well. And so I'm plugged in, and you can see that it immediately, my computer makes a notification. It recognizes this as a device connected to it. And so now I just need to open this drive. You can see here we have a completely brand new drive. They're usually hermetically sealed. And so there is the 10 terabyte drive. And so, if you have any kind of drive, it could be a solid state drive, a small drive, or a drive that would be something you would get out of a laptop, an older laptop. They're usually smaller drives. Those can go in this. They do have to be SATA, which is the type of connector here is providing power and data here. The SATA connection is right there. And so all I have to do now is just take this and drop it down into the docking station and slide that in, and it sort of clicks in there, very simple, and I can feel the drive starting to power up. It's because this is a drive with a disk that actually spins. You're gonna hear that and feel that, and so you don't want to bump this if you can help it. But anyway, so now what I have to do is, since this is a brand new drive, it has not been formatted. Now, if you have an older drive that has already been formatted and it already has data on it, all you have to do is plug it in and your computer should recognize it right away and be able to access that drive, move files onto it or off of it. But in my case, I have to format it. So the way you do that is you run a program called Disk Management, and I'm using Windows 10, so it may look different to you if you're in a different version of Windows. In Windows 10, the simplest thing to do is just come down here to the search box and just type Disk Manage, and as you can see, it has brought up the program we need. You'll click where it says Create and Format Hard Disk Partitions. Now, if you're in a different version of Windows, you're just looking for a program called Disk Management. So I'm going to click on this, and that will open the window here. You see it says Disk Management here, and it has already detected this drive, the one that has not been formatted yet, and it's just identified it as disk number 3. And so I'm going to just leave the default settings here. All right, so click OK, and there is disk 3. Now you see right now it says it is unallocated, so that means that it's not a drive that we can use yet. So to change that, I just need to right click. So I'm right clicking and then choose New Simple Volume. And you'll see this New Simple Volume wizard. Just click Next, and you can just go next, next, next all the way through this. It'll assign a drive letter. You don't need to worry about that. Next, and I do like to give this a name here. And so we'll call this New Seagate 10 TB. So it's a Seagate drive. It's 10 terabyte drive. Now you definitely want this on a quick format. If you turn this off, it could take hours and hours or even days to format a drive because it is writing a bunch of zeros, or it's basically overwriting anything on the drive. So if you just do a quick format, it's going to take literally seconds in most cases to format the drive. So leave that turned on, and then I'll click Next here, and finally click Finish. And if everything goes well, and there we go, we have the new drive. That literally took 3 seconds, and there is our new disk drive. And if I click on that here, you can see it's empty, but we now have a new 10 terabyte drive installed on our computer. So that is how you format a drive if you have a blank drive that you're working with and want to add to your computer. This drive is installed and I can use it just like any other drive. So let's say, for example, I want to put some pictures onto this drive. So I'll come in here, and so here's my pictures. Let's just grab this one here that says it's a folder with Nerd Sidekick. I can right click on that and copy, and then come to this drive here. You can see right now it's empty, but I'll right click and paste. And you can see the drive activity light comes on very quickly, and there are some pictures that I transferred to the new F drive. So then I can, of course, pull up that picture and do anything with files that are now on the F drive or the new Seagate drive. I can use that just like any other drive. And so now let's talk about how to add a different drive. So we're done with this one. We don't need it any longer. Let's say I have a different drive somewhere that I want to add to this system just temporarily. So one thing to know about SATA, again, that's the type of connection that I showed you earlier, the back of the drive where it makes the connection to this device. That's a SATA connection, and SATA is hot swappable, or it's a hot plug. What that means is that you can plug this in with the power still on, and it won't damage it. The system will recognize the drive and everything's fine. However, one of the problems with that is when this is powered on, most of the time it's spinning, and this is a physical drive. There is a physical platter or platters that are spinning around in here at up to 7,200 RPMs, and bad things can happen if you bump this or move this while it's still spinning. So my best suggestion would be go ahead and power this type of drive down before you make any movements of that drive, just to keep it safe. I have messed up drives in the past by touching them or bumping them while they were spinning. So best thing to do is just press the power button, give it a second to spin down. You can feel the vibrations on this, and it'll take a few seconds to spin down or stop spinning. Once that happens, then you can pull this out. It may be a little warm, but that's okay, that's normal. And so now I can remove that drive, and I have another drive over here that is, this is taken out of an older laptop that I have. This is also a hard disk with a spinning physical drive inside. And so the power's off. I could turn the power on and connect it, or leave it off, connect it, and then turn it on. I prefer to just leave it off with a spinning drive. So I'll go ahead and just push that to the far right, because I know that the connection is over here on the right side, and just slide that in until it sort of clicks in there. And then now I can turn the drive back on. And depending on the drive and the system I'm working with, it may immediately recognize it. And so there you can see the name of that. It was Acer, because that was in an old Acer laptop. And so there are the files from that drive, and I can do anything with those files just like it was still installed in the original computer. Now, if you try to run a program from that, it's probably not going to work, because normally when you install programs, there are other things that sort of happen to the system behind the scenes, and so you won't necessarily be able to run programs that are on your older drives, but you should be able to at least access data, pictures, music, videos, and things that you have saved onto this drive. So that's how to install a secondary drive, or an additional drive, through this docking station. And again, let's do one more. This time I'm going to do a solid state drive. So I'm going to power this one down, give that a second to stop spinning. These will stop a little faster, I believe. I'm going to pull that out, and I have a solid state drive over here. It's off. In this case, it doesn't really matter. This is a solid state drive, and so there's no moving parts in this. These are much faster than the old spinning drives, and they're much safer in terms of bumping. You can't bump this and really damage it, because there's nothing spinning inside. So I'm going to push that on in there, press the power, and if all goes well, the system should recognize this drive in just a few seconds. And there we go. This one's called local disk. And so there are the files from this drive. So there you go. A quick tour of how to bring drives in and out of the system. Again, very easy to do, and it gives you access to drives that you have lying around and may need to access data from. Now, if you have an older computer that requires that maybe the computer has died and you want to access that, you will need to take the drive out of that computer. And so that's a different topic in terms of how to remove a drive from a computer. I do have a video if you want to click the link up here or down in the description below. That'll take you to that video and show you how to remove a disk drive from an older computer. So anyway, that's the process of how to use this docking station. Hey, if you're interested in adding this docking station to your computer, check the link in the description below. This thing works very well, and it's very inexpensive. And if this video helped you, please give me a like and share it with a friend who might benefit by seeing this. If you haven't already, be sure to click up here to subscribe to the Nerd Sidekick channel. There's a couple other videos over here and up here that might be of benefit to you. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm Fred Kelly, your Nerd Sidekick, making you the technology hero. See you on the next video.